So Wike is in the news again. And this time around, he is in the news because he is said to be threatening to seal up 34 foreign embassies in Abuja. These are the foreign embassies. They have their flags hoisted in Abuja, which is the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. And all of them, we understand that the Federal Capital Territory Minister has threatened to seal up their offices, right? This is Nyesom Wike. We all know him. Some people say he's an action man, that he doesn't threaten without carrying it out. Recall that some days back he had given the threat to Federal Inland Revenue Services and others, and he carried out the threat, and FIRS office in Abuja was sealed up, right? Some papers have carried it already. This is the Impact newspaper. It says, Wike threatens 34 foreign missions in Abuja, all of them to face closure. And this is Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Another paper, 21st Century Chronicle, has also carried the story. It says, Wike threatens to shut down 34 embassies over unpaid ground rents. And that's Uncle Wike seated there, right? Now, here is the essence of this video. What says the law? What's the position of the law? Can a foreign embassy be sealed up? Do they pay ground rent or taxes? Right? This is the critical question, and it's the essence of this video. Now let's look at it. The answer to this is found in a document called the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. It was signed way back in 1961, and it came into operation in 1964. It's one of the conventions preserved globally by the United Nations for embassies across the world. So this is what determines the relationship between one embassy and another, one country and another, when it has to do with diplomatic relations. It is the same document that guides Nigeria's embassy abroad. It's also the same document that guides the embassies of other countries in Nigeria. If there is any protection here for foreign embassies, it is also applicable to Nigeria's embassies abroad. Now, let's look at the provision of this very law. We go to Article 23 of the convention, right? What does it say? The sending states and the head of the mission shall be exempt from all national, regional, or municipal dues and taxes in respect of the premises of the mission, whether owned or leased. Have you seen it? I read again. The sending states, right, and the head of the mission shall be exempt from all national, regional, or municipal dues and taxes in respect of the premises of the mission, whether owned or leased. So some embassies are built by their countries, right? Others lease the premises that the embassy is operating. This law, this convention, which has the force of law because it's binding on the signatories to the convention, this law says that you cannot tax them. They are exempt from all national, regional, or municipal dues and taxes in respect of the premises of the mission. What does this mean? This simply means that the minister cannot move in to the premises of the foreign embassies and seal them up. Minister Wike cannot move in because of that law that I just read. They are exempt from tax. Ground rent is tax. Ground rent is a legal due that is paid by owners of buildings. But there is a law that says these ones shall not pay. It will amount to international embarrassment against the Nigerian government if the minister should go in and seal up the embassies for reason that the embassies have not paid ground rents. It will also be against the applicable law, in this case the convention. So Minister Wike needs to have a rethink with his team. The threat to seal these embassies up, the minister needs to have a rethink, because the law, the convention we just read, has clearly said these ones are not expected to pay ground rent or any form of national, regional, or municipal tax. The minister himself is a lawyer, and he needs to be guided more, maybe by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, or all such lawyers working and rendering services to the Federal Capital Territory. Now, let's even assume that the minister has the power to collect tax from them. Let's even assume for a second. He doesn't have the power, but let's even assume for a second that he has the power. Now, the legal way to go about it is not to forcefully move in and seal off the embassies. He would have to take the usual way of tax collection, namely suing the individual or institution in a court saddled with tax enforcement powers. He don't just move in forcefully and seal up the premises. You don't go to the embassy or any other place and seal up. So even the sealing up of the premises of the FIRS and others was done without the support of the law. There is a better way of the law to effect the enforcement of the law. You don't go and seal off. If you do that, you are resorting to self-help. Ground rents are provided for in the Land Use Act, and there is no provision for forceful takeover of premises or assets of a defaulting occupant. Due process of the law must be followed at all times, including due process, assuming these embassies have violated any law. Due process of the law must be followed by the minister. Note very well that foreign embassies are diplomatic compounds. They are immune from domestic laws. They are not bound by domestic laws. Criminal code, administration of criminal justice law, evidence law, all those things don't apply here in diplomatic compounds. What applies is international convention and the laws of their own countries. They operate as if they are in their own countries. So our domestic laws don't apply here, and there is need for the minister to be well guided. He's a lawyer. I'm sure that when these things are explained to him by the Office of the Attorney General or any other person that advises him legally, he will certainly have a change of mind. Thanks for watching. Do remember to subscribe so that together we can build a bigger community where we sit together to discuss issues of law in the breaking news. Many thanks.